Japan claims Chinese military plane violated its territorial airspace for the first time. Y-9 transport aircraft arrived at Zhuhai Airshow Center on November 3rd, 2022 in Zhuhai, Guangdong Province of China. Tokyo CNN. Japan says the Chinese military intelligence gathering aircraft entered its territorial airspace off a remote island in the East China Sea on Monday, the first time Tokyo has accused the People's Liberation Army Air Force of the airspace violation and the new irritant in frosty relations between China and Japan. A map released by the Japanese Defense Ministry showed the Chinese aircraft, a Y-9 reconnaissance plane, flying in the rectangular circuit pattern of the eastern side of the Danzhou Island when it briefly headed west and crossed into the island territorial airspace, which extend 12 neutral miles from the coast of the island, for about 2 minutes. The Japan's defense ministry said it scrambled the Air Self-Defense Force fighter jet to respond to the alleged intrusion, but no confrontation with the Chinese plane was reported. Japan's foreign ministry said it summoned Shi Yong, charged the affairs of the Chinese embassy in Tokyo, to protest extremely severely and strongly request the prevention of the recurrence. The Japanese military frequently scrambles fighter jets to confront Chinese military planes that approach but have not previously entered its territory, doing so 479 times, more than once a day in the past fiscal year that ended in April, according to Defense Ministry. But the alleged incursion into sovereign airspace brings that tension to the higher level. In recent years, China's military activities in the vicinity of our country have tended to expand and become more and more active, Japanese Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshimasa Hayashi said at a press conference Tuesday. The invasion of our country's airspace by Chinese military aircraft is not only a serious violation of our country's sovereignty, but also a threat to our safety and is completely unacceptable, Hayashi said. CNN has asked the Chinese authorities for comment on the Japanese allegations. The uninhabited Danzhou Island, the Japanese national monument and wildlife protection area, are in the East China Sea, about 100 miles (160 kilometers) to the southwest of Nagasaki, on the southern Japanese main island of Kyushu. While this was the first reported instance of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force aircraft violating Japanese airspace, there have been two similar incidents in the Japanese-controlled Senkaku Island, which China calls a Diaoyu and claims as its sovereign territory in the East China Sea. In 2012, a Chinese maritime surveillance plane entered the airspace around the Senkakus, and in 2017, a drone launched from the China Coast Guard vessel did the same, according to the Japanese government. But this week incident is the first time such an incursion has been attributed to the military plane. The uninhabited Senkaku chain has been a sore spot in Japan-China relations for years. Claims over the rocky island, 1,200 miles (1,900 kilometers) southwest of Tokyo, but only about 205 miles (330 kilometers) from China's east coast, date back centuries, and neither Japan nor China is likely back down over territory considered a national birthright in both the capitals. Tensions heated up in 2012 after Tokyo bought some of the island from the private Japanese owner, which Beijing took as the direct challenge to its sovereignty claims. It has frequently dispatched the China Coast Guard and other government vessels to the waters around the island to assert those claims, including keeping a Chinese presence near the island for the record 158 straight days earlier this year, according to the Japanese government. Any Japanese-Chinese incident in the Senkakus raised the risk of the wider conflict. Analysts note, due to Japan's mutual defense treaty with the United States, Washington has made clear on numerous occasions that it considers the Senkakus to be covered by the pact.